All right, today, welcome back, and welcome to all the new subscribers out there. Thank you, appreciate it. I hope I can pass the knowledge along and everybody learns something. Because to me, that's what YouTube's about learning and doing things. But anyways, today we're gonna marry up the engine with the transmission, or the transmission with the engine. Either way you wanna look at it. There's a couple things we need to know prior to doing that, so don't judge me on my drawing. All right, so this is the torque converter. It's the transmission, obviously the engine. And when you marry these two up, torque converter has a little nub right there. And there's a spot for that nub in the center of the engine. It has to go in there. Once you put the torque converter on the engine, there's no way to move it forward except through there's a hole in the bottom. Take a long screwdriver or something, reach up in there, something that's not going to break off and have little pieces in there, and you push it forward so it clicks in there. You should hear some kind of clicking, or you should feel it, and then you can start screwing the bolts in. But that's my plan. That's what the transmission guy told me to do, and I'm going to go ahead and follow those instructions. So when you're lining up the transmission, first thing you want to do is line up to these little nubs on either side. That's going to guide the transmission pretty much in the right spot, so you can start bolting things down. And as soon as you get this lined up, go ahead and bolt down right next to it on either side, and then go top bottom, and then just kind of switch around. I don't know the torque specs on that. I'll have to look it up and then tell you in about a minute. But this is that hole I was talking about. The torque converter has to slide in there. I'm not sure if it needs grease, but I'm going to go ahead and put grease in there. But anyways, also, this is your flex plate, and there's a special hole on the flex plate, and they're saying I don't understand the significance of it, but they're saying to start with this. What this is a hole that has two sides that are flat. So it's pretty much oblong. And that's the hole you need to start with when you tighten down the torque converter. And when you're going to tighten down the torque converter, after you put the transmission on, you want to line this hole up. You want to line that hole up right here. Because after you put the transmission on, this is where the starter goes. You have access to the flex plate, and then you can start the screw, tighten it down, flip it around, tighten the other one down, flip it around, tighten the other one down. So it's has even pressure, and then what I'm going to do is going to flip it around and tighten each one down even further, as far as I can go. Here's the view on the transmission. Here's that hole I was talking about. You line up. It's bigger than the bolt holes. Right here and right here, and there's the centerpiece. And then you have 3 bolts that go all the way around. You want to line this one up as far as best you can down here. So just spin it until it gets down here. And that'll line up with the starter opening, so you can bolt them down. Okay, see the distance between where the flex plate is and where the torque converter mount is right there in front of you. And it's a good distance. So we got to move the torque converter toward the engine that far, and we need to do that by sticking a screwdriver in there and pushing it forward gently. You can't really see, you can see it way down there toward the bottom of the frame is the spot where it needs to go in. It's not focusing, sorry. Anyways, just wanted to show you that. All right, can you see the distance now? I just pushed it in and it is right against the flex plate, so it's in a perfect spot to start installing the bolts. And what I did is there's this, not this larger hole, but this, and I don't have anything that goes over that. But this hole right here, this was covering it, little hat, and then all I did was stick a screwdriver back in there behind the torque converter and popped it forward, and you can hear it kind of move forward and go into the slot. Transmission's in. Just to recap a little bit, before I put the torque converter on and slid it in with the screwdriver, I put a little grease right around here where it slides in on the flex plate, or actually in the center of the engine. And then I put a little bit of about a quarter of a quart of automatic synthetic transmission fluid inside the converter, just so it gets, you know, when we initial startup, it has something in there. And I just lightly coated the interior of that and the exterior so it slid on nice and easy, and it did. Remember, stick your screwdriver in there and just pop it forward, and that slid right in. Line up your bolts, tighten them down, finger tight, all the way around first, then tighten them, tighten them, tighten them. I did the three steps. I finger tight, tightened it down, and then I torqued it down hard as I could, and it worked out. So there it is. I still need the cross member. I haven't done that yet. I know the stock one is not going to work because it lines up here and it going straight across. You can tell it's not going to fit. I haven't even tried it yet, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to fit. I have to look for an aftermarket to fit this with this 4L60E transmission. I've seen a couple where they adjust right here, so you can hook it up here and it'll adjust back and forth, so I might go with that. I don't know. That'll be next time. So that's all I got for you guys. So I'll see you next time on an Alien RestoMod Garage. Thanks for